So just quickly, if you've got just a term where you only got to factorize things, so really, let me just give you an example of this. If I've got, say, 2 by 8, right, that is going to give me an area of 16. Now, I could also say that this is, well, this is 2. Remember how we did these breakdowns of these arrays? And this is also going to give it 8. It should be a rectangle, by the way. But I'm going to say this is 5 plus 3. Now, remember, we can distribute this with, well, 5 by 2 would give me 10, and 2 by 3, sorry, would give me 6. What did I do? 2, yep, there we go, 6. Notice the area is still 16 in total. So this way we can do this is actually, this is like 2, 5 plus 3. So we've just distributed it here. So really, I suppose in terms of factorizing, like I could have said, well, what's 10 plus 6? And I want to take out a common term from both of these. So I'd actually take out 2. So if I've got 10 plus 6, what's common in both of these? Well, 2 is. So I can say I've really got 2 lots of 5 plus 3, and that's kind of where we're going. It's a bit removed, this example of how that works, but I will show you with some other ones. So for example, if I've got 5a plus 2a, what's a common factor I can take out of this? Well, I can take out a from this, and I'm going to be left with 5 plus 2, which is actually 7, right? Because that's 7a. Well, really, it's like this, which is 7a. So that's where we can sort of go with that. So we're trying to really take out common factors with these ones. So when we're looking at factorizing, we're just trying to take out the common factors on those. Okay, so if I actually had another question that was just say, I don't know, let's go with 10a plus 5. What's common in here? Well, a is not common. 5 is common. I could take out a 5. I've got 5, 2a plus 1. Because if I expanded this, this would give me 10a plus 5. So really all we're trying to do through this subchapter is just take out the one common one. You know, so here, for example, 2x plus 10, we can take out 2 because that would give me 2x, that would give me 10. Here I've got x squared plus 5x. That's a good one as well. So let me just do that, a few x squares and so on. So if you've got, for example, 5x squared plus 2x. Now I can't take out any common number, but I can take out an x, and that's going to leave me with 5x plus 2. Similarly, I could have like 5x to the power of 4 plus 2x squared. Now I can't take out any numbers, but I can take out x squared from here. If I take out x squared, what would give me 5x cubed? 5x to the power of 4. It would have to be 5x to the power of 2, because now if I multiply these two, that's going to give me 5x squared. And then I'd take out 2 here. That would be 2, because that would give me 2x squared. So what you're trying to look for is, what's the highest thing? Can I take out a number? No. Also, what can I take out of here and here? These both have x's. The highest power of x is x to the power of 2. So I can take out x to the power of 2 from these two. Now I'm just going to change it to show you guys like some numbers. So instead, let's just say this was maybe, I don't know, 14x. Let's go with 14. Let's go with 16. Sorry, my bad. We're going to go with 16x plus, let's go with 10x, right? We'll go with 12x, 12x squared. If I want to take out a common factor from these, if I want to factorize this, well, I can take out the highest number between these two would be 4, right? So 4. And that would leave me with 4. And I could also...
So it wouldn't be 4x?
It would be 4x. So I'm going to show you something. Yep, good. So you take out 4x would actually be what you'd do, which would be 4 here. And then you'd also take out 4x from here, which would leave you with 3x, right? So that would be the quickest way to do it. Some people, what they do is they forget about the letter, okay, or the variable. And then you might leave this as, oh, plus 3x squared, right? Now, what I always do as a self-check is I always look at this and I go, hey, is there any more common terms in here? There is. I've left an x in. Well, now I can just take the x out, right? Which is just going to leave me with 4, and it's going to leave me with 3x. So you can actually factorize like in steps if you stuff it up. So I'm going to show you another way to do this. Just say if you didn't recognize 4 was common in both of them, but you only recognized 2x was. Oh, so I'm going to go 2x. I'm going to take 2x out of them. 2x, and then I've got 8x, and then I've got, sorry, not 8x, it's just going to be 8, plus 6x. So you can see here, I think I factorize it, but hang on, these are both even. I can actually take a 2 out of these. If I now take a 2 out, I've got to multiply this 2 with that 2, right? So that's going to actually make it 4x, and that's going to leave me with, if I've taken 2 out of that, 4, because see, 2 times 8 is 16, 4 times 4 is 16, and I've got to take a 2 out of this, which will make it 4, and that will make it 3x, because that would still give me 12, that would still give me 12. So I've taken the 2 out of both of those. So if you don't factorize correct the first time, always make sure you check your brackets. So in here, can I take out anything else? No. In here? No. But you could have done this one a bit differently. You might have just gone, oh, let's just take out an x, right? So you might have just gone, oh, let's just take out x. So you might have gone with x, 5x cubed plus 2x. Hang on, I've still got x's in here. Let's take out the x again. X squared, 5x squared plus 2. Excellent. Nothing else is common in there. So you don't have to just do it in the one step is what I'm saying. You always have a look when you think you've done it to check that, have I actually got anything still in there that's common? Hey, these are both still common. I've got to take my x out, which we did. Here you first took out the 2x, and then you're like, hang on, this is still, you know, I can divide both of these numbers still by 2. Let's take the power of 2, let's take not power of 2, a multiple of 2 out. That'll make it 4x. That'll make that 4 and 3. Does that help a bit? I hope that does. I know a lot of students go, like, struggle with that part there, but that's all we're trying to do. Yep.
If you end up with 1, is that a problem? Like plus 1 in the bracket?
That's a really good question. No, it actually needs to be there. So you might have.
You can't like do too much simplifying.
So no, you can't. So you might have something like this, right? Let's go with this, right? So if we want to factorize this one out, well, we're going to take out 5x, right? Because 5x is common in both of these, right? Now, you're going to do 1 plus 2x. Because, you know, 5x times 1 will give you 5x. 5x times 2x will give you 10x squared, right? Now, let's just say, and this is what I've seen that people do, they go, oh, that's perfect. You know what I mean? It just means you've got 1 5x. Here you've got 2, 10x squared. What you're really doing, right, is what you've actually got is you've got, if you want to explain it as an array model, you've actually got 10x squared here, and you've got 5x's here, right? And what you're trying to do is you're trying to take out the most common factor. So what you've done is you've actually taken out 5x, and that would leave you then with, I'll probably stuff this up here, but that would leave you with 2x here, because 5x times 2x would give you 10x squared, and this will leave you with plus 1 here. 5x times 1 would give you 5x, and that is your factors. I mean, you can put that in brackets if you want, but there's no need to because it's just one term. So where some people go wrong is they might take out 5x, and then they'll be like, oh, I've taken out 5x, so that's nothing, right? And then they might just go, oh, that leaves me with 2x. The problem here is if you don't write that 1 in, let's just expand this now. 5x times 2x is 10x squared. So that 1 gives you one of these. So you've just sort of lost this when you've done that. So it's a really good question, and it's really important to actually, you know, make sure when you are expanding, if you take out the whole thing, you're left with a 1 there. Again, something that could be a bit different. I'm just going to do a similar question: 10x squared minus 5x. So clearly, this is going to be take out 5x. We're going to have 2x here, because that could give me a 10x squared, minus 1. So sometimes it can be a minus 1 or it can be a positive 1 because it's a negative, right? Typically, one thing you will do, okay, though, if it's like minus 10x squared, minus 5x, I would take out the negative here. The only time when I have a negative out the front, factorizing, is if both my terms are negative. And that would leave me with 2x squared, that's a 2 by the way, 2x squared, plus 1. Because that's going to give me negative 10x squared minus 5x. So when you've got two negatives, like all your terms are negative, just take the negative out. If all your terms are positive, like you take out the positive, right? Like these are all positive. If one term's positive and one term's negative, take out a positive and just write the other term as a negative. So the only time you really take out a negative is if they're all negative. There are other times as well, but that's a general kind of rule of thumb. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. And that's sort of where we're going. So, if you want to factorize this one, you're going to be taking out your 6x is what you'd probably take out. I mean, this one's silly because they've left the x in here, so it would be 6. So just be careful. Here, you would have taken out your 6x. Here, sorry, you would take, and here, that's sort of where they're going with it. So you're really looking for your highest common factors. So what's your highest common factor in these ones? So what's your highest common factor in here? My highest common factor in this one is 5x, so I'll take out that. And that's it. Not much more than that. I mean, we can probably whiz through a few of the questions pretty quickly if you guys want to. I'm just going to stop the recording. And then we can, if you want to, because I think, question?
You know, like how on the learning task it said the test is on like 8A to 8G?
Yeah, we're probably, yep.
So like, did you change it to now 8D?
I think it will be, but don't go spreading the word yet, because I've got to have a meeting with the other Year 9 staff. But I was just thinking in terms of remote learning, I think doing a whole, how do you guys feel about it? Do you think like doing a whole concept? I just think we should break it up a bit. I think we should make it a bit easier.
When will the test